All right, so conspiracy theories around what they're calling the most iconic Hollywood romance of all time, Jay-Z and Beyoncé. Everybody's queen and the head goat. Let's get it.
Beyoncé have been one of the most iconic couples in Hollywood over the past couple of decades. For a long time, the majority of fans have loved them and aspired to have a relationship like theirs. But over the years, many conspiracy theories have followed them as well, especially recently with all of this stuff that has come out against Diddy. However, the dark and disturbing conspiracy theories have followed them ever since their relationship began in 2001. After meeting each other in the year 2000, Jay-Z and Beyoncé began dating in 2001, when Beyoncé was 19 and Jay-Z was 31, which was already a little strange right off the bat. Regardless, both of them were already fairly successful as artists. Jay-Z had multiple successful albums out, had hit the Billboard charts a few times, and had also worked with artists like Mariah Carey, Biggie, and Kanye. He also created his record label, Roc-A-Fella Records. Around the same time, Beyoncé was coming up with Destiny's Child, and they also had their fair share of chart-topping hits. And despite the crazy amount of success that they already had, as I'm sure most of you guys know, they went on to become some of the biggest artists ever. With Jay-Z becoming a huge music mogul aside from his personal success as an artist, I mean, Jay-Z's been called the greatest rapper of all time by multiple publications, and Beyoncé has been named one of the greatest vocalists and entertainers of all time as well. So these two were destined to become a power couple, and that's exactly what they became. The two have collaborated on multiple songs over the years, which helped both of their careers. Jay-Z has released iconic albums like The Blueprint and 444. He's also had many successful business ventures over the years, with his companies like Roc-A-Wear and the 4040 Club, along with his acquisition of Tidal. On top of that, Roc-A-Fella has helped to produce artists like Kanye, Cameron, Beanie Siegel, Jadakiss, and more. Because of all of this, Jay-Z became hip-hop's first billionaire, and most recently has an estimated net worth of $2.5 billion. He's one of the best-selling artists of all time and has won 24 Grammys. On the flip side, Beyoncé has put out tons of extremely successful albums and is the only woman in history to have 20 top 10 songs as a solo artist and 10 as a member of a group. She, like Jay-Z, is also one of the best-selling artists of all time, selling over 200 million copies, and she's also won 32 Grammys. Jay-Z and Beyoncé got married in 2008. Their first child was born in 2012, and they had twins in 2017. Because of their immense
Beyonce has 32 Grammys. That's crazy.
Success and their success stories and all of that, their relationship has been coveted by the public for quite a while. It's clear that they were a power couple, as they were two of the most successful artists and business people of all time when it came to Hollywood. And when you are this powerful and successful, you are bound to have some conspiracy theories following you around. For years, one of the main theories was that Jay-Z and Beyoncé were members of the Illuminati. This theory, of course, was supported by very shaky evidence, at least at its inception. For example, one of the main reasons was that Jay-Z and Beyoncé would throw up a triangle symbol, which, if you remember, a decade ago was heavily associated with the Illuminati and the all-seeing eye. I mean, back in middle school, I remember every meme was like Illuminati confirmed with the X-Files music and the triangle in the background. In reality, though, this hand sign is supposed to be a diamond that references his label Roc-A-Fella, because a diamond is a rock, if you know what I mean. So a lot of people just call it throwing up the rock. Regardless, Jay and Beyoncé throwing this up has raised eyes from theorists, especially when Beyoncé threw that up during her Super Bowl performance in 2013. On top of that, some of their imagery in their music videos has also garnered some attention. For example, in the music video for Jay-Z's song On to the Next One, there's imagery like crucifixes and skulls that resemble Baphomet, which many people think is referencing the Illuminati or Jay-Z selling his soul to the devil. And Beyoncé has also been suspected of this stuff for similar reasons. For example, some people believe that playing her song Single Ladies backwards reveals a bunch of meanings like the world will bow to me, people's tears will fall. I mean, some of the comments on this video just go to show how many crazy things people were thinking. And I'm going to interject my opinion here real quick. When you play a song backwards and someone tells you what to hear, you're probably going to hear that thing. That's just how your brain works, and it's kind of like the whole Yanny and Laurel thing, so that's not good evidence at all. Regardless, for this and her other imagery, people thought she too was in the Illuminati. On top of all of that stuff, a lot of people point to this clip of Kanye calling out Jay-Z, asking Jay not to kill him, and instead asking Jay to call him.
I've been sitting here to give y'all my truth, even at the risk of my own life, even at the risk of my own success, my own career. I've been sitting here to give y'all the truth. Jay-Z called me, bro. You still ain't called me. Jay-Z called me. Hey, bro, Jay-Z, I know you got killers. Please don't send them at my head. Just call me. Talk to me like a man.
This clip was taken from Kanye's notorious St. Pablo tour, where he said a lot of other crazy and controversial things, all of which led to him canceling multiple shows and going to a mental health hospital. Kanye has since claimed that they, or a group of elites, possibly involved with Jay-Z, have had him medicated under the guise of bipolar disorder to keep him quiet. And to be entirely fair to this part of the theory, the text messages from Kanye's trainer are definitely very strange. And this wasn't the last time that Kanye had spoke on Jay-Z either, as more recently he talked about the elites controlling him.
They can control Shaq, they can control Charles Barkley, they can control LeBron James, they can control Jay-Z and Beyoncé. But they can't control me. You see, it ain't no name I won't name. It's up.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves, because Kanye's comments really fueled these conspiracy theories about Jay-Z back in 2016. It got to the point where both Jay-Z and Beyoncé commented on the Illuminati stuff, with Jay-Z saying on the song Freemason, "I said that I was a Mason, not that I'm a Mason." He also said, "Am I down with the devil cause my roof come up missing? Is that Lucifer juice in that 2-cup he's sipping?" Basically, he was saying that people were pinning his success on his ties to a group like the Illuminati, or suggesting that he sold his soul to the devil, and clearly he doesn't agree with this stuff. Beyoncé also said in one of her songs, "Y'all haters corny with that."
I'm not gonna lie, I've heard a lot of things linking them to the Illuminati, and I don't know. I've been skeptical of them for the last 15 years. Since I was about 15, I've had questions and suspicions.
Regardless, these theories of Jay-Z and Beyoncé belonging to a group of shady elites have evolved even further today, with many people suggesting that they were up to even darker practices, more so than just putting weird symbols in their music videos, which brings us back to the beginning of their relationship in 2001. At this point in the video, I do want to say a lot of this stuff I'm going to be talking about is just conspiracy theories and the stuff I have talked about. There really isn't much solid proof for a lot of what I'm going to say, and I'm saying this because a lot of the things they're accused of are extremely serious, and I don't want to be the guy who just levies random accusations with no basis. And I'm not telling you guys what to think. I'm not saying that none of this is true or none of it isn't true, but I just want to...
Pretty much he's telling us his conspiracy theories. We get it, dog. Let's get to the point.
It has yet to win album of how both Aaliyah from under the Illuminati's basis. And I'm not telling you guys what to think. I'm not saying that none of this is true or none of it isn't true, but I just want to give you guys the actual facts so that you can make your own decisions and conclusions. You'll see why I'm saying this here in a second. And this is because one of the main theories lately that's being suggested about Beyoncé is that she's some sort of evil mastermind who wants to control and dominate the female music industry. At least that's kind of what people seem to be getting at, so let me explain. Back when people were accusing the couple of being members of the Illuminati, they also made darker assumptions that Beyoncé was linked to the death of the rising singer Aaliyah. Rolling Stone said, "The far reaches of the internet even link Beyoncé's rise to fame with R&B singer Aaliyah's untimely death in 2001, with theorists claiming that Aaliyah was killed because she had tried to get out from under the Illuminati's control. According to that narrative, Aaliyah was meant to be the rightful queen of the music industry, but after her death, Beyoncé stepped in to take her place." And this is the thing about these theories, sometimes they include like the Illuminati, sometimes they don't, sometimes it's just like the shady elites, and I think in general they're interchangeable. Theorists have also pointed to J. Cole's song She Knows from 2013 when he referenced Beyoncé, Aaliyah, and Left Eye, one of the members of TLC who tragically passed away in a car crash in 2002. And while the mention doesn't have any direct correlation to the theory on the song, people often point out how both Aaliyah and Left Eye, supposed competitors of Beyoncé around that time, passed away in 2001 and 2002 respectively. This idea that Beyoncé was now queen of the music industry has resurfaced recently with all of the P. Diddy stuff that's coming out, thanks to people like Cat Williams and Jaguar, Wright, who are claiming that a lot of industry secrets are going to be exposed.
All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all.
With this idea in mind, a lot of people have been saying that female artists in particular are forced to thank Beyoncé when they win awards, typically Grammys, out of fear. It may have something to do with the fact that Beyoncé, despite winning 32 Grammys, has yet to win Album of the Year. But people online have been putting together these compilations of artists thanking Beyoncé.
The artist of my life is Beyoncé, and this album to me. We fucking adore you. You are our light.
Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time.
To Beyonce. Beyonce, woo, thank you so much. You clearly are the artist of our lives.
Thank you, Beyonce. You're amazing. Yeah.
The fact that Beyonce made a country record changed the game.
Beyonce and I started out around the same time, and just like all of her fans, I fell in love with her.
Again, these theories so far don't hold much weight and are just speculation, especially because of what people think may happen if the artists don't thank her. For example, there was a tweet posted to Twitter with nearly 600,000 likes from the artist Sia. The tweet reads, "Baby, everything your own nice cat eats, kangaroo is dead, nowhere and purple penguins every day, my egg." Which obviously doesn't make any sense, but it spells out Beyonce kidnapped me if you take the first letter of each word.
Though?
To be fair though,
Meat Brie.
Like, who's the person who decided to take the first letter and write them all out? Like, the fact that it spells that is also weird, but who decided that that's what they were going to do with their time to figure out what she was trying to
this
say?
tweet is fake, it was photoshopped, and it became a meme. So far we've just looked at conspiracy theories that really don't seem to have any legs to them. But after P. Diddy was recently exposed and indicted, a lot of people have been making much more serious and somewhat grounded accusations against Jay-Z and Beyoncé. People believe that over the years, Jay-Z's connections to R. Kelly and P. Diddy mean that he at the very least knew about some of the stuff they were up to, and possibly was even involved, especially when lawyers involved in Diddy's case right now are saying things like this.
The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names.
Why would he say
It's
that?
a long list already. And of course, I already know who some of these individuals are, but because of the nature of this case, we're going to make damn sure that we're right before we do that. But the names that we're going to name, assuming that our investigators confirm and corroborate what we've been told, are names that will shock you.
That lawyer even went on to say that there would be some eyebrow-raising names, which is why people think Jay-Z is involved. Diddy and Jay-Z have been friends since the 90s, when they were both growing up in the music industry. They even collaborated on a track in 1997. On top of that, these two were connected to Aaliyah and R. Kelly, who were married when Aaliyah was only 15. Dame Dash, who co-founded Roc-A-Fella Records with Jay-Z and dated Aaliyah when she was actually of age, said he thought it was morally wrong for Jay-Z to do a collab album with R. Kelly when he did. Dame said, "It's morally wrong to do a project with someone that we know raped my girl or raped anybody for that matter." He also said Jay-Z tried getting with Aaliyah too.
I guess Jay was trying to get at her as well, and I didn't know. And then it got brought up, and I was like, "F y'all." But it never worked out for them, and we were both like trying to get at her. I kind of eased up, but then we ran into each other. It's a long story.
So you and Jay was both getting at Aaliyah, obviously.
Everybody was getting at her. Everybody was getting it.
Right.
So there undoubtedly was some shady stuff going down in their circle, as both Diddy and R. Kelly were friends with Jay, and it's possible Jay knew some of the stuff that was going down. By 2007, Jay-Z and Diddy had been friends for a while, and at a performance at Screamfest, Diddy could be seen smacking Jay's butt a couple of times. Now, I personally don't think this holds that much weight in these theories like some other people do. Lots of friends tend...
The main reason I say it's crazy is because Jay-Z act like he ain't even notice it.
To joke with each other like this, but to be fair, Diddy has been a little bit liberal in some of his jokes. However, 50 Cent took this as an opportunity, as he always does, to clown on the two. It's hard to say how good of friends Diddy and Jay-Z are, but they have been seen together hanging out over the years plenty, so it's safe to assume they are at the very least well acquainted. That's why when all of this news began coming out against Diddy lately, people pointed out how quiet Jay-Z was. Also, if you're unaware of what happened with Diddy somehow, I made a whole video on it, so you guys can check that out if you want to. But basically, Diddy was caught trafficking, racketeering, essaying multiple people, and things along those lines. He was indicted and actually has over 100 lawsuits against him. So Jay-Z's silence on this matter has had a lot of people looking at him sideways. 50 Cent even made a joke about it, as he always does, on his Instagram saying, "Anybody seen Jay?" Puff said he ain't been answering his phone. He's commented more in
Bro, ultimate troll. I love this man. Ultimate troll.
Interviews saying that people who aren't talking about it are probably scared because they were involved.
You have something huge coming up, which is a documentary about P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually...
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy.
But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated.
So this is why many people have been pointing the finger at Jay-Z and Beyoncé, suspecting they had some sort of involvement in the Diddy situation. Things got even more serious in the past 2 weeks when Piers Morgan had Jaguar Wright, a singer who's worked with Jay-Z, on his show to discuss the Diddy situation. During this interview, she brought up her opinion on Jay-Z and Beyoncé's suspected involvement.
Dream Hampton spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail, get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's right there.
To be clear, I couldn't find any articles that said that Jay-Z funded this docuseries, although I did see a few articles saying that Jay-Z declined to be interviewed for the show. She also said in this interview that Jay-Z and Beyoncé are a nasty couple who do nasty things. Now, before I tell you what followed, I do think it's important to explain to you who Jaguar Wright is. Like I said, she's a singer who, despite putting out her own solo music, is probably most known for working with people like Jay-Z and The Roots. In the past 5 or so years, she has been making headlines quite often for making a variety of claims, like saying that
if you ever want a conspiracy theory or a video to check or watch, just go look up Jaguar Wright. She got all the tea. I'm not saying what's true, what's not, because I have no clue. A lot of this took place before I was even cognitively able to conceive of these ideas.
Mary J. Blige is hiding her true sexuality, and she accused Common of essaying her, which got to the point where Common had to step in and make a statement.
Let me say this, man, God bless Jaguar. I really don't have any negative thoughts towards her. I was for surely disappointed and hurt when she said what she said about me because it wasn't true. And I know people that have experienced assault, and that's not anything that just say it's just not true. But I also just understand that she may be going through some things that I don't understand.
Over the years, she's made a ton of claims, and in 2020 had an interview with Real Life Productions that has over 2 million views where she is making tons of similar claims. And based on the reception, it looks like a ton of people believe her. In 2022, she even made the claim that Diddy forced a singer to perform fellatio on him. And keep in mind, this was over a year before people were constantly coming out with similar claims about P. Diddy. So there's two things that could be happening here. Jaguar Wright could have a deep knowledge of the music industry and its darkest secrets, or she could just be making as many accusations and claims as possible and occasionally getting some of them right. Someone on Reddit said she might be right about some of the stuff regarding Diddy, but I'm guessing a lot of it was already known in the music industry. And even a broken clock like Jaguar Wright is right twice a day. And similar to this person's perspective, many people in the actual music industry have written her off as mentally ill. Recently, she was arrested in Dallas for property theft totaling between $30,000 and $150,000 and claimed it was due to her speaking out, according to Vibe. So that's the important background information about Jaguar Wright. And after she went on Piers Morgan and made those claims about Jay-Z and Beyoncé, she started a fire. It got to the point that Piers Morgan was reached out to by Jay-Z and Beyoncé's lawyers. The lawyer said, Piers Morgan's irresponsible broadcast filled with lies is so far over the line that a legal ultimatum was warranted. Nobody acting under the guise of journalism can elicit outrageous statements from exploitative situations in an effort to drive clicks and not have to answer for that. Because of this, Piers Morgan apologized and trimmed a segment from his show.
Well, last week I interviewed Jaguar Wright, a singer-songwriter who's made claims about Diddy for years. Those claims had already received a lot of attention in the media across many platforms for many years. And that's the thing about platforms. The reality of the modern world is that pretty much everyone has a platform as long as they have something to say that other people want to hear. That's why we invited her on to be interviewed. The people making these claims have an audience with or without shows like mine. Well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyoncé during that interview. As I said in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves, but now they have. Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact. and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored.
Right,
But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowd...
I would just say this. The fact that they knew about it all and it got taken down before he even completely aired the segment, that's crazy.
...the theatre, there are legal limits on us too. And we apologise to Jay-Z and Beyoncé.
Again, there are two ways to take this. Beyoncé and Jay-Z didn't want crazy and disrespectful misinformation like this on the internet, or they really did what Jaguar was saying, so they wanted to keep it quiet. Regardless, this only made the situation bigger, and the same day that Piers apologized, Jaguar again went on Real Life Productions for another interview. Again, she was stirring the pot and made an hour's worth of more huge claims, and also spoke on the theory that Jay-Z and Beyoncé were involved in the death of Aaliyah.
I want you to think about this. Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane, to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyoncé, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who was a victim of Sean Carter. Yeah. Mary J. Blige, who was a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay-Z victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened. And yet, they had to sit there and have that conversation like they didn't know who did it. Allegedly.
This TikTok in particular got 15 million views, with damn near every comment saying they believe her. Whether or not you believe Jaguar Wright's claims is entirely up to you, but she's been making headlines almost daily for some of the stuff she's saying. More recently, there was a guy named Jason Lee, a podcaster slash YouTuber slash TV guy who was in things like Love and Hip Hop, created Hollywood Unlocked, and has his own podcast called The Jason Lee Show. He made some big claims. He said on his podcast that Jay-Z called him to put out the flames. And he also said, "Jay-Z, I know you're watching because you got people calling me. Stop having people call me. You can call me yourself. You know how to get my number. You got people calling me. Call me yourself, because this right here is gonna go viral. I will tell you, to the audience, if I do come up missing, all the calls I've been getting have been about him." Although I will say that not too many people believe this guy. Someone said risking your life getting killed over some gossip is crazy, LOL. And many others said things like, "Jason, nobody believes you. If attention seeking was an actual person, this would be it." Regardless, these theories have been going crazy all over the internet. And with all the clickbaity 40-minute videos that say absolutely nothing, I figured I'd summarize it and give you guys the facts. Beyonce has even lost a couple million followers this year, and many believe it's due to the controversy, while others think that it's just Instagram getting rid of inactive or botted accounts. So whether you love Jay-Z and Beyonce, or you think they are secretly super evil, it's possible that regardless of what you believe, Jay-Z and Beyonce may not be who you think they are. If you're curious about what other celebrities have said about Diddy over the years, since he was heavily linked to these theories, make sure to check out the video that's on screen right now. Other than